in this very serious and criminally corrupt case of John Yates, by all the departments involved. I'd like to point out that after his third court case, one Sunday morning, banging on my back door, 7:40 in the morning. I didn't answer it, I was still in bed, it was a Sunday morning. 8 o'clock, he's back, banging again. I didn't answer it. 9:40, he's back again. I answered him. I said, "Look, John, go home. You're not well, just go home. I don't want to hear anything." And off he went. I phoned the police because this was starting to be harassment now. They noted it, and I'm blowed if it's not 4:40 in the afternoon, he's back again, banging on the back door. I said, "Look, John," I said, "you're not well, go home." I said, "I've got to get somebody down here with you." I phoned the police up again, and this time I said, "Try and get in touch with his sister Sue." I said, "Because this man is very ill." I said, "and he wants somebody with him." And all this was confirmed on States of Jersey police paper. It was all documented, times and everything. What I want to know is, why did this not break his probation order of 1 year? It was harassment on a Sunday, 7:40 in the morning, 8 o'clock, 9:40, and then back again in the afternoon when I told him to go home. Why? Why did this not break his binding over order? And all the people that I've spoken to, this is how I say it, this case was controlled by somebody very high up. We've got Mr. Temple now. He's the Attorney General. He's the one that I'm writing to now, but it's all, nobody will acknowledge what's going on. Nobody will tell me why all these weapons were dismissed and charge dropped, and what happened to the still active firearm, because it's all covered up. And they're all taking orders from somebody very high up, who, I said at the time, was Tim Lecoq. Tim Lecoq and Crown Advocate Conrad Yates. So that the law officer's name wasn't slurred across the paper. I've been in touch with the Lieutenant General of Jersey that didn't want to know anything about it. I've been in touch with 3 chief ministers. They didn't want to know anything about it. I've been in touch with loads and loads of politicians. And the thing is, nobody will help me because they don't want to rock the boat. They know that all this criminal corruption is done from very high up, and they don't want to get involved. The only person that got involved with me was Pittman, Trevor Pittman. He stood up and he asked questions, embarrassing questions in the States Chamber to Ian Michael. But unfortunately he was forced out, not because of my case, because of something else. But he was the one that was asking questions. Even Channel Television, they done a recording with Trevor Pittman about what he was saying in the States Chamber. And it was about 16, 17 minutes long, the interview. But what they turned the interview around, they cut and spliced it, so it made it look like he was talking about guns. In his States Chamber question, there was no mention of guns. It was about the petrol bombs, sophisticated petrol bombs with battery. It was about the sword he was in public with and 2 throwing knives. It had nothing to do with guns in the States Chamber. But remember, this gun was covered up. It was still active and covered up. And Tim Lecoq still can't tell me, or none of his associates, they can't tell me why he dismissed all these very offensive weapons, even the weapon used in the attack. And why the charge of being in a public place with offensive weapons, a sword and 2 throwing knives, was dropped as well. Why? Nobody wants to rock the boat. That's why I'm still fighting it. And the only way I can do it now is by letting people outside the island know what can be done in a case. This case is criminally corrupt. I've got all the proof. I've got all the letters they sent me, all the lies. I've got all the evidence that was omitted. Why did they omit all this evidence? The police knew about it. So from the police to the law officers department, it was omitted. Why? To cover up the case, that's why. It'll come out. I'll still keep going. These people shouldn't be getting pensions. Tim Lecoq shouldn't be a sir. This should have all been sorted out before he retired. And we've got McRae now taking his place, bailiff. And then we've got Temple now, the Attorney General. Why should all these people fight his case? The police have already said they were waiting for the go-ahead to come and raid my house from Tim Lecoq. Why would the police wait 10 weeks before they raided my home? Because they were waiting for orders from Tim Lecoq. 3 times I've been told that. And why isn't the chap whose name was on the warrant to come in and raid my house? Why can't I get any video footage? According to Access Data, or Data Access, he wasn't even deployed to come and raid my home. So who actually did come? Came to an old man, who I had a job to walk, took me in a van, parked me in the alleyway on a very hot day and left me in the back of the van for 25 minutes. I had to ask for water in the end. And the man standing outside that had had a machine gun before, he was standing outside the back door, he was dripping wet. And the female police constable had to get me some water. It was being cooked in the back of a van. And the best part about it was, within 5 yards, there was a cool holding cell. All this was to try and intimidate me, to show me up. And the amount of times I came back and had to wait to go to court was 5 months, over 5 months. Why all that? Make me go to the police station every month to sit there 20 minutes and wait for somebody to come down and say, no, return again in 4 weeks. What a place. Why can't I speak to these chief of police? Why are we not allowed to do this? Because we're governed by the wealthy, by the powerful and the silent. But this powerful one is Tim Lecoq, who carried all this out. Tim Lecoq, and whether he did it with the aid of Crown Advocate Conrad Yates, that doesn't make much difference now. It's Tim Lecoq who was signing all the papers. He was the one who let it go to a magistrate court. He's the one who let it get all dismissed in court and charges dropped. And the best bit about it was they left me and my wife, the police, in a situation, a very dangerous situation, where they didn't tell us anything about all the weapons that were there. And what annoyed me is I lost all my family life with my grandchildren for way over 14 months because it never returned again. I've got iron bars at my bedroom window, still there. And the best bit about it is nothing was done on his probation to break it. Why can't I see these people and speak to them? Why can't they come and see the evidence I've got? Because they don't want to see it. They just don't want to see it. The whole idea was, my wife and I were old, I was ill, and it was supposed to pass over. within a few months, I'd get fed up of asking the police for updates and it would pass over. That's why in the 10th month, when the police officer Lee Scotland, the dinosaur policeman with the brain of a dinosaur, he told me it might not be going to court. And that's, I've known all along this. I even wrote it on a paper which I sent to the police a few weeks after the attack, saying that this case, I've got a feeling this case would be brushed under the carpet. And it sure has. And this is just one case. If they can do that to two old people and get away with it, mess up their family life, and get away with petrol bombs and all that, what else are they capable of? Ridiculous over here now. Somebody has to stand up to all this corruption, because it'll just carry on and get worse. You can't keep hiding all this. I named 5 police members in my first official complaint. I've never seen a report saying how they were attended to. And when I named the other police, make my official complaint against Mark Hafey, that was it. No contact at all with the police, even when I've been up there and asked to the station. And I've phoned. No, I can't speak to any of them. And I've left my number there. Why? They can't be frightened of an old man, surely. No, they're not. But what they are frightened of is the truth. I've got it, and they know it. And they don't know how to answer my questions. Well, I'll still broadcast it. We're in Jersey, the Channel Islands. I live in St Helier, and this has happened a long time ago, and I've been fighting it ever since, and I'll carry on fighting it. The world should see what this island is like. It's getting to be corrupt, very corrupt, and I've got the proof for it. Thank you for watching my case and my video blog. I shall come up with some more stuff later on. Thank you.